One of my favorite ways to travel is on a back-to-back cruise, and today I'm going to tell you all about them. I've cruised on a back-to-back cruise only one time, and that was on board Radiance of the Seas back in 2017. I started off with a 14-night cruise to New Zealand from Sydney return, and then upon arriving back in Sydney, I stayed on that cruise for another 8 nights, which was a second voyage to the south of Australia, including Hobart, Adelaide, Melbourne. So a back-to-back cruise is basically when you stay on board the ship for the second voyage. Now, some people do back-to-back to back-to-back, and others might just do one like I did. Either way, it's a fantastic opportunity to actually get to experience a second itinerary or voyage while staying on the ship. You can maximize the length of time that you're away on holidays. For me, one of my favorite aspects of cruising on a back-to-back was that moment, the last night of the cruise, when everyone else is starting to get ready to get off and you see the suitcases lining the corridors and you're staying on board. And it's a great feeling, I have to say. So a commonly asked question about back-to-backs is, how does it work in terms of getting off the ship at the end of your first cruise and then starting your second voyage? So generally what will happen on board your first cruise segment is that all passengers that are continuing on for another voyage will be meeting in a public lounge on board the ship before the end of the first voyage. So senior officers will generally run through everything that you will need to know about the process. So because you're already on the cruise, you won't need to check in for your second voyage. They'll give you your cruise card for the next voyage while you're still on your first cruise. Depending on the city that you're in or the port, you may need to get off the ship before you can get back on again to start your next voyage. In some cases you don't have to, but in a lot of cases you do. And in some cases you might even want to explore the city that you're in. So you can treat it like a regular port day, get off, enjoy the sights, and then get back on the ship. Because you already have your cruise card for the second voyage, you can avoid check-in that other people will be needing to go through at that time for the start of their cruise. Generally speaking, you'll have your own dedicated lane for repeat cruises, and you'll get to bypass most of the lineups to get back on the ship. If you don't really mind where you are and you just want to really enjoy the ship time, it's actually a fantastic time to enjoy all the amenities of the ship while people are not on it. So doing a back-to-back might mean that you need to change rooms. If you were lucky enough to book your back-to-back early on, then you may have snagged the same room for multiple voyages. If you haven't though, the cruise line are going to help you move and make the transition as smooth as possible. Your room steward will assist with moving your belongings, and what happened on Radiance of the Seas and Royal Caribbean, and I do know this is true of other cruise lines as well, is that items that you have hanging in your wardrobe will be moved for you, and anything else that you have in drawers or perhaps in the bathroom, you will need to pack in your suitcases. Your suitcases and your hanging items will then be moved to your new room, and you'll be set up as seamlessly as possible. In my case on Radiance of the Seas, the new room was made up as a matter of priority, so it was done earlier so that I could transition over to the new room and not have to be put out at all. And another reason to want to do a back-to-back is the variation in itinerary. And I think that no place on earth lends itself as much to wanting to do back-to-backs than Europe. And I'm going to show you my ultimate European back-to-back now. One day, when the world returns to some form of normality, I hope to be able to embark on several back-to-back cruises throughout the Mediterranean. There are many examples of back-to-back itineraries available through this region, but for me, I'd love to do it on Azamara. A quick search for 2021 reveals these 3 itineraries. The beauty of a back-to-back is that you can remain on board for as many segments as you like, starting here with an 8-night cruise from Lisbon to Barcelona, a 7-night cruise from Barcelona to Monte Carlo, and finally another 7-night cruise from Monte Carlo to Civitavecchia in Italy. Just over 3 weeks of bouncing around the Riviera. What would your ideal back-to-back be? Let me know in the comments below. That about wraps up this video on back-to-backs. I've kept it rather simple, but if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. If you've done a back-to-back and you loved it, or you didn't, or you have some feedback, let me know in the comments below as well. Thank you to everyone that has subscribed to the channel. I do appreciate it. And if you haven't already, I would appreciate it if you could. If you have any travel plans that you want to discuss with me, you can head to my website, thecruiseandtravelguide.com.au, and you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at The Cruise and Travel Guide. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. I might need to start that again. In general, you will be getting off the ship so that the cruise can reach a zero count. Nope. And they ran through basically the whole process and how it would work specific for us, because